Good morning once again, everyone. Today we're going to continue our discussion on financial statements, and in particular, we are going to construct the financial statements of this company, of Advanced Technologies. All right, so let's have a quick review of the financial statements of Advanced Technologies. We looked at these are the balance sheets for 2020, income statement for 2021 and 2020. We have net sales, and then we deduct all the operating costs except depreciation and amortization to arrive at the EBITDA. And last time I asked you, why is it that sometimes in some financial statements, at least in this format, why is depreciation and amortization singled out? Why is it segregated from the other operating costs? Because depreciation and amortization are non-cash items. And these amounts will be used when we construct the statement of cash flows. So after EBITDA, you subtract depreciation and amortization. So here you can see the depreciation and amortization amount. Okay. For 2021, it's 100. For 2020, it's 90. Okay, and then subtract interest to get your earnings before tax. By the way, after you subtract depreciation and amortization from EBITDA, you have EBIT. This is your operating profit, or EBIT. And then you subtract interest expense to get your earnings before tax. And then finally, you subtract tax to get your net income after tax. And then here you have management, or the board of directors, in this case, decided to distribute some of the earnings to the shareholders. So from the net income after tax, we deduct the dividends to be distributed to the shareholders. So what appears here is now your addition to retained earnings, which is obtained by subtracting the common dividends from the net income after tax. Okay. All right, then we look at the statement of cash flows. So for the statement of cash flows, we're interested to know what happened to cash. Okay, from 2020, cash and cash equivalents was at 80,000. So sorry for this. This should be thousands. Kindly correct, please. Okay, so from 80,000 it became 10,000. So there was a decrease in cash. The decrease is 70,000, and we obtained that by subtracting the current value minus the previous value. Okay, so we want to know how cash decreased from 80,000 to 10,000 by identifying the activities that involve cash, okay, as seen in the income statement and in the balance sheet. All right, so we're now going to first prepare a template. So we're now creating a template for our statement of cash flows. And our template will involve, as I mentioned a while ago, classifying the activities either into operating, investing, and financing, and determining how it affects the cash account. So we have defined what the statement of cash flows is last time. Let's see if it's still here. Yeah, it's still here. So the statement of cash flows tells us of the sources and the uses of cash from operating, investing, and financing activities for a specific period of time. So that's how we define the statement of cash flows. Okay, so that's what we're going to do now. We're going to create the statement of cash flows. All right, so we have to know first, it's important for us to have the references or the materials needed in order to construct the statement of cash flows. So what statements do we need? We need, first of all, the income statement of 2021, the current year, and then the balance sheets of 2021 and the balance sheet of 2020. So we need both the balance sheet of the current year and the previous year in order to construct the statement of cash flows and also the income statement. All right. So do we have this? Do we have these three financial statements? Kindly chat, please, if these financial statements are available for this company. Kindly chat, please, if we can construct the statement of cash flows based on this information. Do we have the income statement for 2021? Do we have the balance sheet for 2021? And do we have the balance sheet for 2020? Okay. So waiting for your response, class. Only one has responded. Okay, yeah, thank you. Yes, so that's correct. We have the complete financial statements required for us to construct the statement of cash flows. We have the income statement for 2021. Okay. We have the balance sheet for 2021. And we have the balance sheet for 2020 here. Okay, so that's why we will be able to construct the statement of cash flows. Okay, let me move this up a bit. Okay, so we're preparing first the template. This is just a template. This is not the formal statement. So the template is a tool that we use in order to help us construct the formal statement of cash flows. So let's begin. We first use the net income after tax. So we pick up the net income after tax from the income statement, because that's where you get the net income after tax. And we know that the net income after tax is this amount, 137.1. So where do you think this will fall under? Will the net income after tax fall under operating, investing, or financing? Kindly chat, please. O, I, or F. O for operating, I for investing, and F for financing. Where will the net income fall under? Will it fall under operating activities, investing, or financing? Okay. About the others? Yeah, okay. Thank you. You're correct. So it's O. It's operating. So I'm going to put here net income after tax. There. So let me just increase this. Okay. Net income after tax, 137.1 will fall under operating activities. Okay. However, guys, is net income after tax equal to cash? Kindly chat, please. Yes or no? Is net income after tax equal to cash? So when we say net income after tax is 137.1, does it mean that this is cash amount? Yes or no, class? Answers, please. Just type yes if you think that net income after tax is equivalent to cash, and no otherwise. What do you think? Waiting for your response, class. Take a guess. No guess, class? Hello? Okay, we have one brave answer. Gerard, thank you, Gerard. Why? Is it okay, Gerard, to explain your answer? Why is it not cash? What's your reason for that? You may unmute yourself, Gerard, please.
Because isn't there like other stuff than other than cash that they use when computing for it? Or
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Gerard. Yeah, that's correct. Thank you. Thank you. Remember, class, when we were discussing the income statement, okay, remember we discussed that in arriving at the net income after tax, there are non-cash items there. Okay, there are revenues that are non-cash, there are expenses that are non-cash that were included in order to arrive at the net income after tax. So that's the reason why the net income after tax is not equivalent to cash. Okay, and since we're constructing the statement of cash flows, okay, we have to adjust this and convert it into cash. So what do we need what do we need to do in order to adjust the net income after tax into a cash item? Okay, in our case, okay, remember I said that depreciation and amortization were singled out and separated from the other operating costs because these are non-cash items. Okay, so I hope you recall that. So that's precisely why in this income statement we are segregating, or we are singling out depreciation and amortization and separating it from operating costs because we need that figure. Okay, we need depreciation and amortization because they are non-cash items. And what do you think do we need to do to depreciation and amortization to convert our net income after tax? What adjustment do we need to do? Anyone, please? Okay, let me put the question this way. What did we do to depreciation and amortization in order to arrive at net income after tax? What operation did we do? When I say operation, mathematical operation. Okay. Yes, thank you, Gerard. Yeah, you're correct. Gerard is correct. We subtracted depreciation and amortization. Diba? From EBITDA 383, we subtracted depreciation and amortization to arrive at your EBIT 283. And so, in order to adjust this, we have to add back the depreciation and amortization because it was depreciation and amortization was subtracted to arrive at the net income. So let's add back, add a depreciation, and let me just write the shortcut and amortization. Okay, so we have to add back depreciation and amortization to convert our net income after tax to cash flow. So the 2021 depreciation and amortization is this one, 100. So I'm going to link that one and under operations also. Okay. All right, that one. Okay, so in effect, we have converted back your net income after tax into a cash flow. because we added an expense that's non-cash. If there was a revenue also that was added, that was non-cash, then that should be subtracted this time. Okay, but we don't have that in our case. There's no non-cash revenue here. Okay, so we're not subtracting anything from the net income after tax. All right, so I hope so far we're clear about this. Okay, we have taken the initial steps in coming up with a template pro forma for our statement of cash flows. All right, then we go down the balance sheet accounts and see what were the changes in our balance sheet accounts and how these affected cash. Okay, so let's go down the balance sheet. Okay, of course, we're not going to include cash because this is what we're going to investigate. Okay, what will happen is that anything here, okay, anything here, let me just put a border to that. Okay, all the items here, when we add all the items in operating, investing, and financing, when we sum all of the effects here, okay, it should equal 70,000, a negative 70,000. If it does not equate to negative 70,000, then something's wrong with our model. Okay, all right. So let's go down the. Let me just decrease this a bit. All right. First, we have short-term investments. Now, what happened to short-term investments? Did it increase or decrease? Kindly chat, please, class. If short-term investments increased or decreased. Just write I or D. I for increase, D for decrease. Okay, correct. Thank you. Thank you. Short-term investments increased from 3.6 to 3.8. Okay. Now the next question is this change, okay, 3.6 to 3.8 in short-term investments, will that fall under operating, investing, or financing? So write OIF. Will that fall under operating, investing, and financing? Okay. All right, so we have different answers, no? Operating, iba, investing, iba. All right, but the answer here is that any interest-bearing account, okay, short-term investment is an interest-bearing account. All right, so any interest-bearing account should fall under, okay, financing. All right, it should fall under financing. Okay, so the change here in your short-term investment will be put to financing activity. Okay, now on question susunod, is this a source of cash or a use of cash? Source of cash, which means there was additional cash. Use of cash, there was a deduction in cash. So kindly please type S for source and U for use. So it will fall under financing. And is this a source of cash or a use of cash? What do you think, class? So you notice what we're doing. we're investigating whether if a particular account, a change in a particular account, will affect operating, investing, or financing. And then we also need to determine if this is a source of cash or a use of cash. So any guess? Short-term investments? Will fall under financing. And then any guess, please? What do you think? So yeah, let's keep that. No? Let's keep that for a while. Let's answer that later. Let's go to the next one. Okay, this one, accounts receivable. What happened to accounts receivable? From 311.4, it became 371.2. Okay, I want you now to answer two things. Okay, either type OIF, whether the change here in your accounts receivable will fall under operating, investing, financing, and then also type OIF and then comma S or U. So you type two letters, huh? OIF or S or use. S means source, U means use of cash. Okay, so let me give you a few seconds. Kindly type your answer. We're looking at accounts receivable, okay, which increased from 311 to 371, which means that more sales were generated, right? So what will that fall under? Operating, investing, or financing? And then, is it a source of cash or a use of cash? So please type two letters and do that now, please. Let's wait for the answers of the others, please. A few more seconds, please. We only got 6 answers. Waiting for 12 more. Okay, how about the rest, guys? 12 students, what's your take on that? What do you think? Is the change in accounts receivable part of operating or investing or financing? Iba? OS, 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 OS. Okay. All right. So I'm not getting any answers from the rest. Okay, sige, let's answer this. AR. Okay, you're correct. Huh? You're correct that this is from operating activity. Okay, and then your answer was source of cash. Okay, kasi nag-increase yung sales, no? So pag source of cash, the difference, the increase in accounts receivable, which is the difference between the two, will fall under operating and it will be a source of cash. So it should be positive, no? Positive kasi source of cash. Huh? So let's do this. So let me just subtract. Okay, let me first format this, no? Para mas kita natin, control 1, number. Let's not put a decimal place anymore. And let's just use this. Okay. All right. So the increase in accounts receivable will fall under, let's put here, increase in so there was an increase in accounts receivable, and it will fall under operating activities, and it's a source of cash, so it's positive. All right. This one also increase in we haven't answered that. All right. Okay, how about inventories class? Any questions so far? So increase in accounts receivable, then it falls under operating and it's a source of cash since nakabenta. So this is positive, no? Okay, clear tayo so far? Paki-chat nga please, class. If so far yung our entry to accounts receivable is okay. So it falls under operating activities and it's a source of cash, so it's positive 60. Okay, clear so far with accounts receivable? Kindly chat, please. Yes or no lang, please. Let's wait for the others to reply. I think I only have 6 students here. See, I don't see the others responding. Okay, thank you. Okay, my question dito, saan galing yung 60? No? All right, 60 is the difference between, okay, so let's repeat. Let me repeat the process. Okay, so we're interested to know what happened to receivables and how it will affect our statement of cash flows. So receivables increased from 311 to 371. So there was an increase in accounts receivable. And we said that accounts receivable will affect operating because this is generated by sales. All right. So since it increased, therefore, this is a source of cash. That's why your answers a while ago were O and S. And so since it's a source of cash, then it should be positive 60, right? So I'll just subtract. Okay. All right. Clear, class? Any questions so far? No questions? I was hoping that you'd ask me a question. Wala akong nakikitang question dito. So ulitin ko guys ha, I'm going to repeat one last time. The statement of cash flows, in creating that, we use a template. This is our template, and identify the changes in the activities and where it will fall under operating, investing, financing. Accounts receivable increased from 311 to 371. So there was an increase in accounts receivable, and it will fall under operating, and it's a source of cash. So dapat positive. Okay, so here we're getting the difference between this one. Okay, I expect you to ask a question, guys. I'm expecting a question now. I'll just wait, guys, for the question. Okay. Let me repeat this for the last time, class. So we're investigating what happened to the chain, what happened to the accounts. Okay. Accounts receivable increased from 311 to 371. So we record it as an increase in accounts receivable. Any change in accounts receivable will fall under operating. Okay, and I ask you, is this a source of cash or a use of cash? Your answer was source of cash. Okay, correct. Source of cash. So dapat, what will fall under operating will be, if it's source of cash, then it should be positive. If it's a use of cash, then it should be negative cash because it reduces the cash amount. Okay, so I expect you to ask me a question now. Okay, Marian, please.
Sir, di ba sir sabi niya dapat po positive? Ay, dapat po positive pero po ang sagot po na nakuha natin ay -60.
Yes, that's the question I'm expecting you, class. Because if it's a source of cash, then it should be positive, right? Right? So this is wrong. So what should be the answer, class? Because it's a source of cash, then it should be positive or -60. Class, kindly chat, please. Should it be positive or -60? Simple lang, guys. It's very simple. If it's a source of cash, it should be positive. If it's a use of cash, then it should be negative. Okay. How about the others? I'm waiting for the others to answer. Thank you, Maxine. Please, Maxine, kindly share your answer to everyone, please. Okay, thank you. How about the rest? This is critical, class. You have to understand this because we will never be able to construct a statement of cash flows if we can't even define a source and a use. Okay, source means it increases cash, the cash balance. Use means it decreases the cash balance. Okay, so all right, positive. Okay, positive 60. Okay, all right. So what? Let's just we have to subtract, no? Okay. All right. Next, inventories. What happened to inventories, class? Okay, inventories increased from 415 to 615. Okay, inventories will be used later on to manufacture the goods, right? And the company will be able to increase cash and sales because of this. So there was an increase in inventories. Okay, now please tell me if increase in inventories. Tell me if this will fall under operating, investing, financing, and if it's a source of cash or use of cash. Again, 2 letters, please. Kindly chat, please. Operating, investing, or financing? Is it a source of cash or a use of cash? So 2 letters, please. Now we have different answers. OS and OU. So it will fall under operating, you're correct. And the house is divided, some answered source and some answered use of cash. Okay, let's see. Diana, you answered OU. Why OU? So operations is correct, but why is it use of cash? Inventories increased, which means that this will be used later on to generate sales, right? So why is it a use of cash?
So I'm not sure, but I think because you will sell it. So
Okay.
like
So if you sell it, then
it's an increase in cash.
yeah. So okay. So are you changing your answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Diana. Let's see, Tyla. Why OS?
Same reason, sir. If you sell it, the cash increases.
Okay. Thank you. And Gerard,
Same reason.
same reason. Okay. Thank you so much, Diana, Tyla, and Gerard for your answers. All right. So it's source of cash. Okay. Source of cash. So what should be my formula here, Gerard?
2020 minus 2021.
2020 minus 2021. It should be positive, right? Because it's a source of cash. So what should be my formula?
Yeah, so isn't it 415 minus 615?
415 minus 615, will that give you a positive answer? Will
No.
415 minus 615 give you a positive answer?
No, sir.
So what should it be?
Then 615 minus 415.
615 minus 415. Okay, because it's a source of cash, right? Correct?
I guess, sir, yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, any questions, class, so far? You have increase in accounts receivable, it's a source of cash. Then you have there the negative 60. Increase in inventories, it's also a source of cash. Then you have 200, both operating. Any questions? Again, I'm expecting you to ask a question, class, because I'm really confusing you deliberately. Okay, Patricia, why not 2020 to 2021? Patricia, could you kindly unmute yourself? For what? For what account?
For the inventories
For
po,
the
why can
inventories.
it not be negative?
Okay. That's why I asked the question a while ago. But the answer of Diana, of Gerard, and Tyla was that the increase in inventories is a source of cash. Okay. So class, if it's a source of cash, should the difference be positive or negative? Source kasi, so dapat positive siya, right? If I make it equal to 2020 minus 2021, then what will we have? Negative 200. So is this now a source of cash or a use of cash? Patricia.
Use of cash po.
A use of cash na siya, di ba? Right. It now becomes a use of cash. But we said that increase in inventories is a source of cash. So that's why it should be. So we want the positive. So we subtract the bigger to the smaller, right? Okay, so increase in accounts receivable, source of cash, 60. And then increase in inventories, use of cash. So source of cash also. So sige, in a minute, just think about that and please key in your questions. I'm not getting the question that I'm expecting from you, class. Let me repeat what we have done so far. So increase in receivables, we said that it falls under operating and it's a source of cash. Increase in inventories, it's operating and it's a source of cash. So don't you see any conflict here, class? Yes, exactly. Maxine, kindly please share your question to the class, please. Please share your comment to the class. All right. So what's that? The sign, okay? So for the accounts receivable, if it's a source of cash, then why is it negative 60? Should it be positive like inventories? Yes. Same thing, Gerard, no? Inventories should be negative. Oh, so are you now taking back your answer a while ago? Inventories should be negative. So it's not a source of cash, it's a use of cash, Gerard. It should be negative if it's a use of cash. So
isn't receivable supposed to be negative because you're not actually getting money?
you're not getting money. But
Or
you sold something, right?
yeah, sir, but isn't it on like credit, so you don't get cash like
Okay.
directly?
All right. So thank you, Gerard. I think you got the concept correct. So for this one, class, for the increase in accounts receivable, okay, it does not, an increase in accounts receivable does not mean an increase in cash. It only means that the company was able to sell more. However, where's the cash? It has not been collected. All right. So in effect, the company produced the goods. They spent cash for that, and then they sold it on account. So there was an increase of 60. However, did cash increase? No. No. Cash did not increase because the buyer, the customer, have not paid it. That's why it's still receivables. Okay. And on the other hand, increase in inventories means that you invested, the company invested in inventories. They bought inventories. So this should be a use of cash there. Okay, that's why I was waiting for you to question a while ago, because we kept on saying that increase in accounts receivable is a source of cash. So if it's a source of cash, then this should be positive. But I was insisting that it was negative. So you should have established already the conflict there. Okay, we said increase in accounts receivable is a source of cash. Then why is it negative? Okay, if this was a source of cash, this should be positive. Okay, but truly, increase in accounts receivable is a use of cash. That's why we're having here negative. And increase in inventories is also use of cash. So you have here negative 200. Okay, so we go through the whole balance sheet asking that question. Okay, all right, so let's go here. Let's continue. How about this net plant and equipment? Where will this fall under? There was an increase from 870 to 1,000. So should this fall under, by the way, total current assets, we will not, of course, include that here because it already includes all the other items here. Okay, net plant and equipment. Operating, investing, or financing. And source of cash or use of cash. So give me two letters, please. OIF and S or U. Operating, investing, financing, and also source of cash or use of cash. Okay, I'll wait for your answers, guys. here increase what's the account used? Net plant and equipment. Okay, waiting for your chat, guys. Will it fall under operating, investing, or financing? And will it be a source of cash or a use of cash? Any answer from the class? What do you think? This is net plant and equipment. It includes machinery, all the property, plant, and equipment accounts. Building, land. Okay, let's wait for more answers. Only 2 answers so far. How about the rest, guys? Okay, investing and source. All right. So only 2 answered. Yes, you're correct. Okay. Thank you, Maxine and Diana. You're correct. It's investing. Okay. However, it's not a source of cash because you bought equipment, right? The company invested in equipment. Okay, equipment increased from 870 to 1,000. So this is a use of cash. If equipment increased, it means the company bought more equipment, and that will be a use of cash. So this will be negative, and it will fall under investing. There. Okay, are we clear so far? Kindly chat, please. Yes or no? If so far our pro forma template is clear to you. Kindly chat, please, if so far clear yung pro forma template natin. Clear ba so far? If not, may questions ba? Do you have any questions? I hope that there will be more responses kasi the response rate of this class is really so low. Not even 50% respond to my questions. Yes or no lang. It's so difficult to draw out some responses from me. Response time is low, and then not everyone participates. Sometimes not even 25% of the students participate. So it's not really good participation. About 6 other students. Okay, let's go to liabilities and equity. Okay, accounts payable. There was an increase from 30 to 60. So where will this fall under? Again, 2 letters, please. This is increase in accounts payable. So where will this fall under? Operating, investing, or financing? And is it a source of cash or a use of cash? Operating, investing, or financing? And is it a source of cash or a use of cash? Answers, please. Okay. All right. Fine. Thank you for your answers. Okay, but accounts payable is generated in the ordinary course of business. A company will buy its supplies, its raw materials from a certain company. So it's not actually financing. Okay, it will fall under operating. Okay, kasi trade payables to, no? Okay, so these are trade payables. It's not something like, it's not a notes payable. Okay, so this will fall under operating, and then it will be a use of cash. Okay, so use of cash, if it's a use of cash, which means it's what? Positive or negative? So should it be positive or negative? Okay, negative. All right, so it's negative. Okay. All right, are we clear, guys? Okay, so sorry. This should be negative, no? Oops. What should I subtract, class? -30 minus 60. Okay. So 30 minus 60. 30 minus 60. Okay. All right. Clear, class? Bakit why does Gerard, may question ka dito. Why positive? Gerard. Gerard. Are you standing by your answer?
Yes, I think it's positive.
Why positive?
So isn't it a liability?
Yeah. So what if it's a liability?
So it should be like directly proportional. So it should increase on the
On the so what happened here? The company bought raw materials, right? On account. Did the company pay already? Class, did the company pay already? Unmute na lang, no? No, not yet. So where's the cash? Was the cash already paid to the supplier, or does the company still have the cash with it? So I think the 60 is the base on the payable of 20, which is 30. Okay, so for this one, class, for the increase in accounts payable, okay, what happened here? The company bought raw materials, for example. Did they pay already? No, not yet. So where's the cash? Still with the company. So therefore, in effect, this is a source of cash because the company, it's as if the company borrowed, okay, and it's not yet paying the transaction. Okay, so this is a source of cash. Okay, so to summarize and to address the possible confusion that this might have been causing you. All right, so let me write here. Let's generalize our rule. So if we're taking a look at, it's either the assets, and on the other hand, this is liabilities and equity. Okay. If assets increase, okay, like inventories, it increased, receivables, it increased, it will be a use of cash. Therefore, if assets go down, for example, accounts receivable went down, it means the company was able to collect, right? So this becomes a source of cash. On the other hand, for liabilities and equity, it's the opposite. If liabilities increase, it means the company borrowed. Okay, so this should be a source of cash. And if liabilities or equity decreased, okay, it means the company paid their liability. So this will be a use of cash. Okay, so we use this general rule in determining whether an increase or decrease in an asset account or a liability account is a source of cash or a use of cash. In fact, we only need this. We only need this rule. We only need to know this. So if you know this, you can already construct the others. Okay, because if assets increase and it's a use of cash, therefore a decrease would mean a source of cash. And in the liability and equity side, it will be the opposite. If liabilities and equity increases, it should be the opposite of use. It's a source of cash. Okay, so with that, okay, with that as a guideline, then it will be easy for us now to complete the others. Okay, just using that guideline. Okay, so let's go here. Accruals. So is this operating, investing, or financing? So there was also an increase in accruals. So let's change the account name. An increase in accruals will fall under operating activity. Okay, and there was an increase, therefore this is a source of cash. This is a liability. Okay, so it makes the rule, it makes the determination whether it's a source of cash or a use of cash very easy. Okay, notes payable, this is interest bearing, therefore it will fall under financing activity, and it will be, since it increased, it will be a source of cash. Okay, the company borrowed, okay, so it's a source of cash. And then we go here, long-term bonds. There was also an increase in long-term bonds. This is also interest bearing. This is a long-term borrowing. Okay, so we put it under financing. Okay, it increased. Therefore, this is also a source of cash. Okay, let me pause there. Okay, and kindly chat if so far clear yung discussion natin as far as this one. Okay, copy this. Kindly chat, please, if so far clear the rules and the inputs to our pro forma. Okay, thank you. All right, so let's move on. Okay, common stock. Okay, if there was also a change in common stock, okay, let's assume that let's just put something here, increase or decrease. Any change in your common stock should also be part of your here. Okay, it should also be part of your investing. And again, it depends. If it increases, then it means it's a source of cash. But since here it's the same, okay, so it doesn't matter. I just inserted this so that you know if there's a change in common stock, it will go under financing. All right, then for retained earnings, we don't include this because this is already part of the net income. Okay. So that's about it. Okay. And I think there's another one here. Here. Okay. Increase in short-term investments. We haven't filled this up. We said that this will fall under financing. And then since it increased, it means that the company bought treasury bills or a short-term investment. So it placed out money, right? So this is a use of cash. Okay, it's a zero because okay, we're not putting any decimal here, but it has a value. Okay, it's 0.2. Okay. All right, so far, okay, we have gone through the balance sheets. So let's total this now. Totals. Let's add everything under operating. Investing and financing. Okay, so quick summary here. For operating, the total was 17. It's positive, so this is the cash flow provided by operating activities. For investing, it's negative 130. So this is the cash flow used by investing activities. And for financing, it's positive 220. This is the cash flow provided by financing activities. Okay? So did you get the same values, class? Kindly chat, please, if you got the same values. Kindly chat yes. If you got the same values, please. Okay, waiting for your response, please. 17, negative 130, and 220. Okay, good. Thank you. All right. So if we add everything, let's get the sum of this. It's equal to sum. Okay, 107. Positive 107. So there was a net cash flow of 107. Okay, and how does that compare with the cash difference in our balance sheet? Is it the same, class? No, it's not the same. Okay, which means that we need still to work on our template. until such time that this becomes negative 70, then we're still not done yet. So there may be some items that are still lacking here. Okay, first, is there anything in the income statement that involves cash outlay that have not yet been accounted for? Okay, kindly inspect your income statement. Anything there that involves cash that we have not yet reflected, that we have not yet included. What we included is a net income after tax, and then we added back depreciation and amortization. Is there any other adjustment that we need to do? Or is there any other activity that can be seen in the income statement that's not reflected in here, in the net income after tax and in the depreciation and amortization? Anything, plus? Take a look at the income statement, the whole income statement. What do you find in the income statement that has not yet been reflected in what we captured, the net income after tax and depreciation and amortization? It's there, guys. It's there. You can see it. Take a look at the whole income statement. That activity involves cash, and we have not yet included that in the template. Anyone? Class? Try to go through the lines of the income statement, okay? The whole income statement, okay? For 2021. Okay, let me aid you. Let me give you a hint. Anything above the net income after tax, all the items there, all the accounts there have been captured already, have been incorporated because we got the net income after tax, right? So any value before the net income tax after tax line has already been accounted for. And then we even adjusted it by adding depreciation and amortization. What about those items after net income after tax? Is there any activity there that involves cash also that have not been included or incorporated in the template? Class? Okay, I see an answer. Thank you. All right. What about dividends makes in? Does this involve cash? When a company issues dividends, okay, there are different types of dividends. It can be stock dividends, but usually it's cash dividends. So therefore, class, this will involve cash. This common dividends of 77.1. And is this already incorporated here in our template, in our pro forma template? Kindly chat yes or no, please. If the dividends have already been captured. Okay, how about the others, guys? Only 3 responses, 3 out of 21 students. It's really a very, very poor percentage of participation. I'm even having difficulty drawing out yes or no responses from you, class. I hope you'll be more active. Okay, yeah, you're correct. The answer is no. So this dividends, which involves cash, has not yet been incorporated in our template. So the 77.1. So let's include that here. Maybe here at the last, payment of dividends. Payment of dividends. And this is a financing decision. So it's also a use of cash. So I'm going to put here a negative here and link it to 77.1. There. This is actually more than so a while ago, this was 107. Now it became 30. But still, okay, we're overstated because the difference in cash, the change in cash should be negative 70, but we're 30. So are we overstated or understated? Kindly chat again. Overstated or understated? So far, at this point. Is our totals overstated or understated? Okay. Good, thank you. Okay, thank you for those who replied. Only 2. Overstated. By how much? Okay, I hope everyone will answer this time. By how much are we overstated? You're correct, we're overstated. The balance should be, the sum should be negative 70 for these activities, but it's 30. So you're correct, we are overstated. By how much are we overstated? Your reply, please, class. By how much are we overstated? Okay, thank you, Gerard. You're correct. So Gerard said that we are overstated by 100. That's correct. Because if we get the difference between 30 and we subtract the negative 70 here, okay? So approximately 100, there's a decimal difference here, okay? Okay, 100, that's a difference. Huh? So we are overstated by 100. So what do you think? Where is this coming from? Any amount here that's similar to 100 or maybe 50? Okay, perhaps depreciation. So we are overstated by 100, right? So if you look at the accounts here, there's one here, depreciation. So we are overstated by 100, and this is 100 here. Okay, yes. Thank you, Shyler. Please share your answer to the others. Yeah, Gerard, thank you. That was 100 a while ago. So what do you think? What should we do, guys? We are overstated by this one. So we should what? We should depreciation is 100. Therefore, we should what? What do I do with the 100 here? Class, answer please. What do I do with the 100 here? Minus, okay. All right, so we delete this, right? Because we are overstated by 100. Okay, so I now delete this, right? All right, negative 70, negative 70. Okay. Any questions, class? Clear? May I have your chat if we're clear so far? Yes or no? We were able to identify our overstatement, which is depreciation and amortization. So when we deducted it, when we removed it, then we now have a correct balance here, negative 70, which now agrees with this one. Okay, kindly chat, please. If it's a yes or no, it's almost time. I have only a minute. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for your answers. Okay, so this is now our pro forma template. All right, so just a quick review. It's already 1 minute before time. So we started with the template involves operating, investment, financing, and we start with net income after tax. Okay, but net income after tax, which will fall under operating, is not equal to cash. Okay, so since this is not equal to cash, what should we do? We have to add back any non-cash expense, or we have to subtract any non-cash revenues. So our depreciation and amortization is 100. Okay, there you go. Okay, so this is the correct one. Okay, but now we're back to here, 30. We're overstated by 100. So we have to delete this. Okay, but then again, we say net income after tax is not cash. So we have to add back depreciation and amortization. Okay. Okay. If we add back now depreciation and amortization, okay, we will have a problem with our balance. We will be overstated by 100. So what do? We delete this one. Okay, so it's now balanced. If we delete that one, we have a problem with depreciation and amortization because this is not cash. So we have to add back 100,000. I hope you notice that I'm I'm playing around with you. Okay, because that is not the solution, guys. Removing this is not the solution. It has to be there because net income after tax is non-cash. We have to adjust net income after tax. Otherwise, if we delete this, okay, then this is no longer cash. So the depreciation and amortization has to stay there. It has to stay there, which means that there's another factor equal to equal to. Okay, this has to stay. Okay, we cannot delete this. So we still have this problem. So next meeting, guys, we'll finish this. We'll try to see where the discrepancy is coming from. Okay, so let me